women, 43% of women have some degree of female sexual dysfunction. Isn't that amazing? 43%. And really, for the most part, there's not much to help them. If it's a dryness issue, then we do have hormone creams that help a lot and sometimes resolve the dryness issue for women, but sometimes not. If it's a pain issue, there's nothing out there. There's dilators, there's other things that you can really try.
Show on this once, and it is a real
If it's an orgasm issue, there's really nothing out there. You can take some Viagra, it helps sometimes.
For women? Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, we compound some different things here. Not here, but
I know what you mean.
And but there's not a whole lot, right? If it's a sensitivity issue, there's nothing. If it's an anorgasmic issue, there's nothing. If there's a libido issue, then I have testosterone.
Right.
But that's not always right for everybody, and it doesn't always do the trick. Sometimes it's incredibly helpful. But so what I do when a patient comes in, and they all have some degree of sexual dysfunction or low libido, or it's everybody for the most part. Right? Everybody. You do, right? You mentioned your libido.
Yeah, but I think it's more. It's more relationship oriented than physical.
Well, absolutely, and that's important because what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in contact with the sex therapists in town and connect with them because I want a referral. I want to be able to refer
help
people
those
out.
people too, right?
Well, because it's not only two. Often it's complicated where there's an anorgasm problem that then creates problems with the partnership and the relationship. Because if you don't have that sexual intimacy, there's problems.
Right.
And and it's not about sex, it's about the connection. If you don't have that connection, that sexual intimacy is what is unique about your relationship. It's what separates your relationship from all the other relationships that you have. And if you don't have sexual intimacy, or it's not satisfying, or it's painful for one, or it's shameful for the other, or the other, let's say it's a man and a woman, and the woman has pain.
Right.
So every time they have intercourse, she's not going to want to have sex, and he doesn't want to hurt her.
Right.
And so now he's feeling guilty because he has this need to have sexual intercourse. But every time he does, he hurts her, and that's the last thing he wants to do. And it's a very complicated thing. And so then it gets to be where he doesn't ask anyway. Right. And not only doesn't he not ask, but he doesn't feel wanted by her either. Because she has a lot of guilt about not being able to satisfy his needs, and so she withdraws. And now he doesn't really feel wanted by her. And if a man doesn't feel wanted by his partner, then he doesn't have any self-confidence.
Oh, and then it goes into this whole...
self-confidence goes into it, and then the secretary pays attention to him, or some young little girl pays attention to him, and he's feeling like a man again, and that's misinterpreted, and now he's having an affair, and the whole thing sucks. It happens.
It happens all the time.
Just like that, and among lesbians too. Right. If Heidi doesn't pay attention to me, I'm not the same.
Interesting, yeah.
Yes, I'm not the same.
Yeah.
I don't come to work
and
with as much confidence.
Right.
No way. When I come to work with confidence, it's because I know that my family adores me. And I get to go home, and they're going to adore me when I get home.
There. Right. No matter what happens here, you've got that.
Yeah. So it's a completely different thing. So it's important. That's my point, is sex is important.
Right.
Comfortable, satisfying sex is important to intimacy. And so this O-Shot is amazing because it's platelet-rich plasma injected intravaginally. Now, platelet-rich plasma I've been putting in the face.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Right.
Dentists have been using it. Cosmetic dentistry has been using it for decades.
Oh, I didn't know
that. One of my patients is a cosmetic dentist, and she said that without platelet-rich plasma, she'd not be able to do her job because she has very sick people that will come in and they'll need implants and various things, and they don't have enough bone to hold on to the implant. So you prepare it with platelet-rich plasma, you grow new bone. It's a stem cell stimulator. You grow new gum, you can grow new tissue. It's a stem cell stimulator. So when you think about putting it intravaginally, when you put it in the face, you neovascularize, which means you grow new blood vessels. You grow new collagen, you grow new fat, you rejuvenate tissue. That's what happens.
Right.
When you put it intravaginally, you generate new blood flow.
Ah.
You stimulate nervous tissue. You regenerate new tissue, so you re-epithelialize the vaginal canal, so you're thickening up the vaginal canal, you're restoring lubrication.
Wow, so that would solve a whole host of problems.
A whole host of problems, because this thing is amazing, like beyond belief host of problems. So where we put it, there's an area that is it's anterior. So if you're laying down, okay, it'd be on the top of the vaginal canal.
Got it.
All right, behind the pubic area.
Got it. Right.
So there's a whole row of tissue there that contains blood vessels and nerves and the urethra and all of that, right? So this it's unbelievable. This resolves incontinence.
Right. Okay.
It resolves pain. It increases sensitivity. And
Sure,
it's
it makes
perfectly
perfect
safe. You
sense.
can't hurt somebody with it. You cannot hurt somebody with it.
Right.
There's nothing that can be harmed with platelet-rich plasma.
So there's no reason not to do it.
There's no reason not to do it. Incredibly effective.
So you're using it on patients now?
So I'm doing it now. Yeah.
And how did you get in on this?
Well,
With
I went to
Charles?
training with him 4 weeks ago, and we found love. It was like, wow, he is the oddest duck, and I absolutely adore him.
It's great.
He is brilliant, his heart is in the right place, but he's not, well, he says, you know, I'm not a woman, but he is a woman. It's great. He has such a love of women. It's
Yeah.
really amazing. I'm training a bunch of body logic physicians, and we're going to publish. Hopefully we're going to publish first on it soon. So I went ahead and had one, and I will tell you, I had no sexual problems before.
Right.
There is a new level.
Interesting.
The
The thing is, if my interest level went up, maybe more would happen.
But here's
You know
the
what I
thing.
mean?
Here's the thing. This is really important that you understand. I get it. When there is physiologic activity,
I know where you're going with this. The
there's
brain catches up.
interest.
The brain catches up.
It's so interesting.
Yeah.
It is so interesting. And what I've realized also, which is very interesting, that's why it was good for me to do it, that it's not just for dysfunction. It was good for me to experience this because I realized that that energy is like power of youth. It's weird.
That is pretty cool.
It's weird. So we'll have you fill out, you know, the questionnaire and everything. We'll kind of take you through the study.
Okay.
So if you give us feedback once a week. And
Oh,
then
perfect. Yeah.
when I have a new group of physicians who come in maybe 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now,
Right.
if you can tell us, come in for 10 minutes
Sure.
and talk to us about your experience. That's what I found most helpful. Not, you know, doing it is not a big deal. It's very simple. Any doctor can do it. 5 minutes, I can teach them how to do it. It's simple. But hearing the patient's experience is what's so inspiring.
Right.
The Runnels had a couple of patients come in and tell us about what was the issue, what they found. And both of these patients' husbands also had the Priapus shot, because we do it in the penis as well. You increase size.
You do both of them.
You increase.
Heidi
You
told me
increase
this.
size. You increase blood flow.
That's who was telling me
You
about
increase
it.
intensity of orgasm. You increase sensitivity. I mean, come on. If I talk about this, everybody wants it.
Right. There's nothing
And
like
it
it.
doesn't hurt. Does not hurt. There is no potential for negative. And if you use Viagra, it'll only make your Viagra work better. Or you might not even need Viagra. But it will not harm. With men, see, there's another component. With men, they have to do pumping. They have to use a penile pump, which is not a big deal.
Oh,
There are,
interesting.
so it's 10 minutes twice a day. You can do
Okay.
10 minutes on, 5 minutes off, 10 minutes on. We have them buy a pump ahead of time. Start using it for a couple of days, just so that they can understand how to use it, that kind of thing. We bring it with them. I inject, and then they pump right there for 10 minutes.
Got it.
So it's spreading the matrix, the vibrant
Oh,
matrix
okay, got
out.
it. That
It's
makes
stimulating
sense.
tissue, right? Because
Right.
think about this.
Because you want it to, whatever you're putting in to spread and to get.
You want it to spread.
Right.
But even almost more importantly, the PRP is like a fertilizer. You get the metabolic process going, and then you add the PRP to a process that's already going by the pumping. You've got blood flow, you've got tissue metabolism, you've got all kinds of things happening.
Sure.
You're using that momentum and adding the PRP.
What's PRP?
That's the platelet-rich plasma that you've just injected. Okay,
Makes
so
sense.
you're stimulating the whole process. It's like doing a laser treatment to stimulate a collagen
Sure, it makes complete
rejuvenation
sense.
and adding the PRP on top.
As a layperson, I wouldn't have thought of that,
Exactly.
but it makes perfect sense now that you're telling me.
That's right, and that's the key, right? So they pump. With women, Charles hasn't been having them do anything, but I'm going to, or whatever. So what it does is, it teaches you, well, it trains you, you're strengthening the pelvic bowl muscle, so you're bringing up the pelvic bowl muscle, right?
Right.
So you're toning
Sure.
the vaginal
I
area.
read about
You're
this,
toning
actually.
the pelvic
Yeah.
bowl. It's simple, it's easy, it's a no-brainer for incontinence. It increases sexual pleasure because you're rejuvenating those tissues, you're getting in shape.
Right.
Okay?
And it makes your orgasm more powerful.
Makes your orgasm more powerful. So it's really very
That's
interesting.
pretty cool.
So what
that's a
I'm
huge
having-
problem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that causes a lot of pain. Makes sense.
So what I'm going to have women do is get one of those devices and start using it a couple of days, just like the men, a couple of days before they have their procedure,
Mm-hmm.
and then continue using it after they have their procedure. There's